Hey guys, you're listening to 3-Hit Combo, which is now proudly part of the 76th Street Network. Check us out and a ton of other fantastic podcasts at 76thstreetnetwork.com.
It's showtime. Let's kick some ass.
All your days are belong to us.
Come here!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is 3-Hit Combo Podcast, the world's only podcast recorded in a hot air balloon. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Andy.
It is a floating studio.
Yeah, it is, and it's amazing. Oh shit, Andy, no!
Damn it, I wish I knew Andy would have did that so I could be like, man,
Save me!
I let him go. The equipment was too much.
Yeah, the equipment was weighing us down. I had to push Andy out to even get us off the ground.
A laptop and some microphones.
Yeah. How was your week, Andy?
It was good. I beat BioShock Infinite and Jesus Lord.
Yeah,
that is my game of the year.
Yeah, you mentioned that on the Facebook page. I've seen streams of it. It looks awesome. I just haven't played it.
Oh, have you played any of the BioShocks?
I played the first one. I actually didn't really like it that much.
All right, you just need the first one to know a little bit about Infinite.
But I was thinking about giving it another shot.
Dude, Infinite's story, it is just... This is the year of stories, I think, in gaming. Because Tomb Raider had a fantastic story. BioShock, that Last of Us game coming out, looks to have a great story.
GTA 5.
Yeah, GTA. Oh, my God. Did you finally watch the trailers?
Yeah, I watched the trailers.
Aren't they awesome?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Isn't Michael the best?
Michael, I'm forgetting their names. Michael was the first one, right?
Yeah, the dad or whatever.
I was thinking the last one. What's his name?
Oh, the crazy guy?
Yeah.
Anthony?
No,
that doesn't seem right.
I knew I should have pulled
But
it
the
up
crazy
before we
guy,
did
yeah,
this.
he's pretty awesome. And then,
yeah.
Sorry, that totally derailed me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the what's the word I'm looking for? The like the dysfunctional family. I like dysfunctional family stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that derailed me so hard.
But yeah, I was reading an article and I forget where it was, but it was something about like why stories don't matter in gaming.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it was just like
really,
it's all about the gameplay and the fun you have with it. The story shouldn't matter, and like the comments were like, the comments were like agreeing with him. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was like the only people that care about story are like casual gamers. It's like, what the fuck,
dude? BioShock was a hardcore. It's like a hardcore game, and
yeah.
Yeah, it was good gameplay, but the story was what kept me.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. Like, story's fucking huge.
Yeah. Like, I've played games that have no story, and I usually lose interest in them quite quickly.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is, like, maybe the commenters were all, like...
His friends.
Yeah, his friends are, like... I don't want to say, like, all fighting game fans are bad, but fighting games normally don't have stories, and those people get pissed. Fighting game fans, they get mad at other things that aren't fighting games often.
What do you mean there's cutscenes?
Fuck.
Cutscenes?
God damn it, my immersion. I guess that would be the opposite. They wouldn't have it.
It's 99 button combo.
Yeah.
Bruh!
You're not playing with an arcade stick?
I love people that are like that. I've met a couple that are like, you play with controller? Yeah.
Fucking scrub.
Yeah, I'm like, all right.
That's what I fucking have.
Yeah, it's a controller, man. I don't want to spend $99 or something on a fucking joystick.
Whenever I think of angry fighting game fans, I'm pretty sure I've told this story on the podcast before, but I always remember the time that this guy at SGC, the second one, had like a 10-game winning streak in Soul Calibur, and Stefan just walks in cold and beats him. And as he's losing, he's like, he's like jiggling the joystick and touching the buttons, but every time he'd get hit or comboed, he'd slam his hands on the thing, and then he didn't shake Stefan's hand.
Soul Calibur was a fun game.
Yeah,
I think I remember getting bitch slapped by a friend because I kicked his ass in that game.
That's funny. I remember when I was 5, a friend of mine threw a frisbee at me because I wouldn't be quiet during a game.
I had a friend slap me one time because there's this game. Oh God, it had to be early thousands. It was called Soldner, and it was basically tried to be what Battlefield was.
Yeah.
But it was horrible, and they loved the shit out of it. I'm like, guys, this game's fucking horrible. And then he slapped me over it because we had such an intense argument over it.
He slapped you?
Yeah, like across the face. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was funny because George bought it. And it wasn't George who hit me, but George bought it like a $60 game.
Why did George hit you?
I said George didn't hit
Why
me.
did George hit you? You're trying to hide the abusive relationship between you and George.
George is the last person to do that.
Yeah.
And then he bought like a $60 game, and I guess it wasn't even finished the game when they put it out. I'm like, oh, what game fucking sucks now?
I can't think besides the time that my friend threw a frisbee at me. Anytime that I've gotten like a physical altercation over a game.
I've just been hit that 2 times. That's about it.
Yeah, I can't. I know there's been times like where we're landing, which like I did strike someone one time, but it wasn't over the game.
Oh, okay.
Austin wouldn't let go of my keys,
Oh.
and I told him like
punch.
I told him like 8 times. I'm like, dude, I'm going to punch you if you don't give me my keys.
Did Austin get all butthurt about it?
He did afterwards.
He gets a butt. Is he going to SGC?
Yeah, he's going
Oh,
to
that'll be
SEC.
good.
Yeah, Austin does have a problem getting a little mad pretty easily, but I just remember this specifically. I'm just like, just give me my keys. Just give me my keys, Austin. He's holding on to my keys. We were like 16, 17. I'm like, give me my keys. Just give me the keys, damn it. And I'm like, and then he kept saying no, and he was like, take them. And I'm like, I didn't escalate yet, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hit you if you don't give me my keys. He's like, and he was like, do it. And I'm like, I will punch you if you don't give me my keys. And then I punched him in the arm, and he gave me my keys, and he's like, you didn't need to punch me. That was taking it too far. It's like, what the fuck?
I could see Austin doing that. Every time I think of Austin, I think of his dad, and his dad looks like infinitely pissed all the time.
His dad's pretty cool.
I know he's a nice guy, but just the one time I saw him, I was like, he looks infinitely pissed.
Yeah. Oh, but I can't think of any other.
I really cannot believe. Oh, sorry. Do you have a story?
I remember
All right.
one time Tom spilled a strawberry drink on himself
That was at
at
Paul's.
Paul's house. Yeah,
We were playing Left 4 Dead.
yeah. Paul gave us like each one, and then we're drinking them, and Tom drinks it like all of it.
Yeah.
Falls on him. He's like, "Oh no, guys!"
Paul's house was awesome.
Paul's house was awesome.
I miss
Paul was awesome.
Yes. Yes. Pre-Jesus Paul was awesome.
Pre-Jesus Paul was the shit.
Yes. He was the coolest
And
kid.
a good guy too. He
really was.
He had some sort of complex. Like he would mention how he's like, how the old him was like bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, the old you was a very nice person.
Yeah. I was like, I loved it. I mean, I still like Jesus Paul was still cool, but it wasn't cool Paul.
No, he wasn't cool, Paul. It was just like, and then other things would then lead to Jesus a lot.
Yeah.
Which it's like I have no problem if he says he found Jesus, but everything we talked about led to.
And then that awesome 4-hour conversation he had at the first SGC with Twos.
Tyler, oh my God. So for people listening, here's how this kind of worked out. And I don't want to seem like I'm condemning religion here, even though I'm not a big fan of it. But anyway, I'm not condemning it. But just the passion, I wouldn't say passion.
No, he had some passion.
It is passion, but he wouldn't. It was just, I mean, he was like really fucking
Yeah.
into it. Like, oh my God. When he, was born again, it was like his mission to save other people almost.
Yeah.
And so one time, Tyler, who was in the hotel room with us, or he wasn't even in our room, he was just like
Yeah.
hanging out. Oh yeah, that was the time we were all like sleeping. He was like sitting on a chair in the
Yeah.
room, and we're like, Tyler, you want to go? And so then him and Paul start talking about finding Jesus, and it was like, what?
Keep going. I have something after this.
Oh, okay. You looked at me like something was like I had
No.
a red dot on my head and I was gonna get shot.
Matt, duck!
So they're talking about finding Jesus. That's fine, whatever. Paul grabbed his Bible and they went out into the hallway and where these 2 chairs were. I fall asleep. I think I remember.
It was
falling
late,
asleep.
too.
It was late. I fell asleep, but I only fell asleep for like 4 hours or so, and I get up.
Yeah,
and
you were rocking the 4-hour sleep pattern that.
Yeah, and
that
I think
time.
you and Diane were up.
We might have been.
Because I could have sworn I talked to someone in the room. But anyway, I think you and Diane were up, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to run down to the lobby or something and grab something to drink. I don't know. And I go out there, and they're still fucking out
Yeah.
there. I mean, and like, into it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Tyler-
Tyler scooted his chair
Yeah.
closer to Paul, and Paul is like, and I just wanted God to take away my old life. and I'm like, which is fine, but holy shit, guys! Like, if I had a watch, I would have looked down at it.
You know what I love? Like the highlight of that SGC was in Leaper. Were you there when Leaper just went up to the dude and he's like, "Do you want to buy us some alcohol?" Or he's like, "You look like you want to buy us some alcohol."
I wasn't there.
And then
for
we
that.
got free shots and some alcohol.
Yeah, I remember the story though, where he's like, "Yeah, you guys told me when you guys came back to the room with like vodka,
Yeah.
something like that." I'm like, "How the fuck did you guys get that?" And he told me the story, and Leaper just said, "You look like a guy that wants to buy us alcohol."
Yeah, and then the guy brought us to his room, gave us shots, and we chilled, and then we bought vodka off of him. It was awesome.
Now this year we can be those people.
I know. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. You know, it would be awesome because you were talking about hard liquor.
Yeah.
And we can. I think I can do this. Energy drinks and hard liquor. Because the thing is, I'm gonna be hyper and smashed, and I'm just gonna want to play games.
I hate energy drinks and liquor,
But it just makes the night so fun.
but they're opposites.
They are opposites. Did you know that the only upper alcohol, the only upper alcohol is tequila?
Let's just drink tequila.
Dude, no.
I hate tequila.
Tequila's
too.
so evil. Do you think if we could go into the game room and just start playing games, we could bring a box of wine? Oh yeah, we weren't gonna do wine. That's what it was.
Yeah, wine.
Yeah, wine can give some nasty hangovers.
That and it sneaks up on you because wine actually tastes fine.
Yeah.
It tastes okay because beer honestly doesn't taste that great unless you buy good beer. And
Have you ever had Stella Artois?
No.
That's actually some.
I know what
pretty
you're talking about though.
good- Yeah, it's some smooth beer.
I've never had that, but there's this really good beer that's mixed with it has strawberry flavoring, but it's like
Are
a
you
hint of-
thinking of limeritas?
No.
Strawberritas?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like a local brew, I think, and it's like strawberry and agave nectar.
All right, I don't know.
I got it at Beertopia.
Oh, Beertopia is awesome.
Yeah.
It's rare that I'm in that area, but when I am, I always stop at Beertopia.
Yeah. The fuck was I gonna say? Oh yeah, wine because it tastes good and it has a higher alcohol content than beer. So then you keep drinking it and then you don't realize how much you've actually drank
Yeah.
until the next day.
Oh my god.
and then it's not so bad when you're like chilling with your friends because then you can like pay attention. But if we're running around playing games
Yeah.
and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be able to pay attention to how many I've had.
Do you like Jaeger bombs?
Yeah, your bombs are fine.
Well, then we'll just
We'll just do those every now and then. Go back up to the room. Yeah. We probably can't have alcohol on the floor.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna bet we can't. Do you also SGC story? Do you remember at the first one when Leaper just randomly took Paul's flip flops?
Yes. Yes.
Paul was like, "Why would you?"
Why
would you just take someone's flip flops?
He was so dumbfounded by it.
He was dumbfounded, and I would be dumbfounded if I didn't know Leaper because Leaper's reasoning was I just saw flip flops, so I put them on.
Was it Leaper that has really bad foot odor?
He
or is
did.
It...
I haven't ran into that in a couple years, but he did. Oh my god, because he never wore fucking socks. He'd always just put his shoes on, and then you know how that goes.
All right. After next week podcast, we'll rent a car.
Okay.
Because this week I got to jet off to the bread bash right afterwards. So.
Okay.
But next week we'll rent a car.
All right, sweet. We'll rent a car.
Oh, arriba. We'll get a Ford Fiesta.
I want to get something a little more compact and like fuel efficient, but I don't want to go super compact. You know?
No, we'll get.
I'm
we'll
thinking
get a
like
nice
Toyota
car.
Camry
or a
something like
Honda
that.
Accord.
Yeah,
or
Honda
one of
Accord.
them, yeah.
Because there's only gonna be 3 of us in there, and you and I, we're not gonna bring a lot of stuff.
No.
Clothes and
Clothes
toothpaste,
and-
and shampoo.
Well, I'm bringing the camera.
Oh, the camera. Yeah,
and
that's
you're
right.
bringing your laptop so we can sort of do podcast stuff.
Yeah, but that's still not.
Yeah.
That much. God, I'm trying to think of other SGC stories, but maybe I should save them for but just before we go to SGC.
The SGC cast.
SGC cast. Oh yeah. All right, you want to get into gaming news?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
These guys don't stand a chance.
Grab your controller and brush up on your gaming lingo. You're gonna need it. This is gaming news on 3-Hit Combo.
Sit down and shut up.
I'm kind of glad we had a little bit longer opening segment because there was not a lot of news all around.
I do have one thing I want to say about GTA 5.
Yeah.
That game looks beautiful.
It does.
And it's crazy that is running on like PS3 and Xbox hardware. It's not like because they always put the PC one out. It's like a couple months after, so it's like on current hardware, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does look really nice.
I read an interview or Yeah, a guy who got a little playtime with it, and there's like yoga mini games. There's 18-hole like golf mini games.
Oh my God,
yeah, there's
sweet.
just he's like it's GTA massive. So
I read something that said the world is like 5 times larger than Red Dead Redemption's world, which was pretty big.
Yeah, Red Dead was huge.
Yeah, so it's 5 times larger than that. That you could just get lost.
Yeah, I
Like, why don't you play GTA 5 anymore? I don't know where the fuck I am.
that is the one thing. The one complaint I had about San Andreas was there was a lot of dead zone. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's just a road to get here, but there's nothing in between it. So I hope they take care of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand
it
a
wasn't
little
like
bit.
that in GTA 4.
No, but GTA 4 was one city. This is like 3 cities or something.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
I don't know the specifics on that, but I know. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It ends up being like one map. even
Yeah.
though it's 3 separate cities.
But and that's how San Andreas was. It's just to get to each city was a long road, and then there was like maybe one thing to do in between, like one fun thing to do off the course.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not like that, but
No.
Again, I just don't. I don't think.
Yeah, no,
I think
Rockstar.
they got too much stuff that they can put in it, especially
wonder-
given the fact that they've delayed it to add more shit.
Yeah,
or
I wonder
finish
how many
shit.
Rockstars are working on it, like companies.
Fucking all of them. Just do all of them.
Yeah, that's all you need. Just
Yeah.
every Rockstar.
Oh, GTA is the cash cow.
Yeah.
That's the one that makes them fucking billions of dollars.
Assassin's Creed 3, I think, almost had every Ubisoft company. Like in the credits,
That's
I was
crazy.
looking. It was almost every one.
Let's start off with some Xbox rumors.
Dun dun dun.
See what Xbox has with they came out with, and unfortunately I haven't stayed current on this, but I believe it's like the Xbox Mini. It's another.
Oh,
version of the
the
Xbox.
like the media type version.
Yeah, and for that it's a $300 console, and for 2 years you can pay $15 a month for Xbox Live, which ends up being more in the long run, but it's basically like a subsidy. You get a cheaper console.
Yeah.
But
And wasn't
you-
it the article said that the cheaper console wouldn't have like gaming? The article I read was that the cheaper one would only have media features. It wouldn't have gaming features in it.
yeah, I don't know, but that's for the Xbox now, and now they're talking about there's 2 different models of the next Xbox, and they're thinking the $499 says standalone, which people are thinking the $499 version, if that's the price point, the more expensive version, is the one you will not pay monthly for Live. Instead, you'll just pay the year. Or I guess you could pay by month.
I thought it was going to be like
No.
Like
You could
buy that Xbox and you get free Live.
No, not at all. What you can do is just either I guess I got my terminology wrong. You can pay by month. I've never paid by month. I've always done year.
Most people do a year.
But the cheaper model is $15 per month, which is more than what you would normally be paying per month. But it's a cheaper console, so they're saying in the long run, you end up spending more, but you have the ability to actually buy the console because $15 a month isn't really that much.
I've also heard a lot of rumors that the name could be Infinity.
Yeah, I saw Infinity and Infinite, I think. And what was the other one? Fusion. Xbox Fusion.
Fusion's not a half bad name.
Yeah, Fusion's not that bad.
Infinity kind of sounds cool.
Now, what some people are thinking is that the standalone, the more expensive one, Xbox Live, it could be $15 per month. Like that would be the new Xbox Live, which honestly would triple the price of Xbox Live.
How much is it now if you were to do monthly?
Oh, I don't know about monthly, but I know for if you buy a year, it's $60.
All right, so break
Unless
that
you
down
buy it
into
from
12.
Newegg.
Yeah. All right, so if we're just going off of Xbox's prices, though.
Yeah, so $60. You're paying
Divide that by
$15 a
12.
month, 12 months in a year.
I wish I was better at math.
15.
Someone's on the other side like,
Yeah.
it's this much!
So that'd be $180 for a year, which is 3 times the price.
Damn.
Now that's just a rumor, but if that were to happen, there is no fucking way I would buy an Xbox.
15
I would not buy an Xbox. I already think Xbox Live is too expensive to begin with.
Yeah.
It's expensive. Xbox Live really is expensive. Not only that, but now we have ads all over the fucking dashboard. So we pay for the service, and then we get a bunch of ads.
Yeah. It's like Hulu Plus. You pay
Yeah.
for it, but you still get commercials.
And I know some people in the comments of this article are like, well, why don't they just raise Live by $10 or something? That's not much. I don't want them to raise it at all.
Yeah.
Because I've already gone through other price raises. I'm still looking at it. I used to buy, when I would buy it off of Newegg, it would be like $25-$30 for a year.
Yeah.
Now it's about 45, which is a lot more. And I know that reasoning when they add $2 here, $5 here. Every time you're like, oh, that's not much more. Oh, that's not much more.
But
But
it
if you
adds up.
compare it to what it used to be,
Yeah.
that's so much more.
When I remember when I got my Xbox, I think I paid $29.99 for my year membership.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of miss my Xbox every now and then.
Yeah, but that's why I don't want to go up at all. I think it's like the max. It's expensive as shit.
You know what'd be cool is if they and I've heard this for the PS4 that they're gonna offer different like levels of the like they'll have the regular PlayStation Network that'll be free,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe like PlayStation Plus, and then I've heard PlayStation World.
And when they're talking about this here, if they do that $15 per month, that would probably add another tier. So it'd be like silver,
Yeah.
whatever this is, and then
Platinum.
gold. Yeah. So I don't know that. Those different tiers really mean nothing to me because I would just get the top tier anyway.
Yeah, that's why I got like Plus. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's worth it to me, so that's why I would get it. But I really hope they don't fuck this up. I really hope they don't.
There's a lot riding on Microsoft's got a lot riding.
There's a lot riding on this. And if I see myself spending significantly more on an Xbox than I would on a PS4, which I'm already thinking about getting a PS4 anyway, I'm thinking about getting both systems. I know that sounds fucking stupid, but I'm thinking about getting both systems. I wouldn't get them both at the same time, obviously, but I might buy one winter and then one the other next winter or something like that.
I'm waiting more for the 4 info to come out before I solidify my decision. And I do also want to see what the Xbox has. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I do know that I'm going to buy one.
yeah, same here.
At some point, I'm going to buy one. But now I'm thinking I might just buy both.
Yeah. And like I'm open to switching to Xbox if it has features that blows my mind over PS4.
You know how awesome it would be if they said, all right, we're just going to get rid of the monthly payments for Xbox Live. You know how sweet that would be?
That would
Just
be.
make Xbox Live free.
They're not.
I know they're not.
They've been banking off that
They
so
have
hard.
been banking off that. But they have ads. They have ads in the dashboard. They're there. They're advertisements.
I saw a
How are they
picture.
not
Some
making
guy,
enough money?
some guy was like, "No, I'm all right, Xbox," and it had like every panel on his dashboard had a Justin Bieber thing. They were like advertising Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
And I was like, I have never had that.
yeah. Even if they lowered the price, that would be sweet too. But I just
would be cool.
don't think they would.
No.
Of course, you businesses never have that mindset.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of money at 60 anyway. Why would they ever drop it down to 30?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Plus, then they can justify it if they be like, well, it's next gen, it requires more servers and network connectivity.
That's true. That's one of the reasons I think they might raise the price of Xbox Live, and I don't want them to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's next gen. You are making so much goddamn money. God, you are making so much. Sony's making money. Sony's making just as much as you.
Yeah.
And they don't have the fucking high-ass price for their Live.
I mean, granted, their network will go down for a little bit, but it's still free.
Yeah, it's still free. I do like the size of Xbox's network. It's nice to go on Hydro Thunder and find 10 people to play with.
That
like
is true. That is very true. I definitely agree with that. That's what I love the most about the Xbox. You can play old ass games, and
There's
be
somebody
people.
on. Yeah. But at the same time, it's how much do you pay for PlayStation Plus?
$50 a year.
50 a year.
Yeah.
50 years, 60. So it is not much more.
Like if the next tier for if they were to do like say PlayStation World, it was $60, I'd pay $60.
So it's not much more, but man,
It's like just nickel and diming you if you think of
it's
it that
getting
way.
really expensive. And then the same thing with the Microsoft
Yes.
points.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say microtransactions.
Oh, microtransactions. I just try and stay away from games with microtransactions.
I had a huge argument with some guy at work. I almost punched one of my associates because he's like, "I love microtransactions." I'm like, "Are you
Stupid.
fucking
It's
serious?"
so fucking stupid.
And I was like, How much do you think you've spent on one game in microtransactions?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe like $80." I'm like, "The fuck."
Well, you couldn't have just bought a $60 game?
Yeah,
A complete full game?
and then maybe like a $20 season pass to get some DLC.
Yeah, there you go. $80.
Yeah.
There's a game and all the DLC.
Yeah.
But instead it's like, here, now buy this sweet sword.
Do you see this truck?
$3.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool truck there.
Here, get another costume
$2.
for your character. What game was I playing recently that was like that?
Dead Space.
No, was it Far Cry that I could buy things in? I don't think it was Far Cry. It was Gears of War.
Oh,
Gears of War Judgment. So many skins. I mean, a ton of skins for your armor, your weapons.
And you know what's ridiculous is how much were some of the skins?
They were like $2 a skin.
You know what? It probably took them 1 day to make a skin.
Yeah.
Some guys just there like, all right, we'll do this, this, and this. All right.
I think it was $2 a skin. It could have been a little bit more because I was thinking
It's
of
expensive for a skin.
I know. And then when you think about it, okay, you buy that for one weapon.
Yeah.
You buy that for a weapon. You have now bought that for your Lancer. Now when you switch to your shotgun, oh, you got this plain old looking shotgun. Well, why don't you spend $2 more on the chrome skin for your shotgun? And there's like, I haven't played in a while, and I'm trying to take a stab at this, like 30 different skins for your weapon and armor.
That's a lot.
And so if you start to get tired of one, then you got to buy another. You could easily, theoretically, spend $26, $28 on skins if you really like that game.
I don't mind paying $2 for a song in Rock Band because I understand the amount of work that goes into one of those songs. That's why when I buy it, I'm like, I'm all right with this.
Yeah.
Because they gotta do it for every instrument, every difficulty, all that shit.
Yeah, I just can't do it with the skins and stuff like that.
No.
Or even like themes for my Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I just upload a picture and put it in the background.
The only themes I get
there's
are
my theme.
the only themes I get are the ones that PlayStation Plus gives me for free.
Yeah.
And I don't even use themes anymore. I just use the natural PlayStation one.
And same with a gamer picture. I've had the same gamer picture probably since like 2007.
I haven't changed mine since I got my PlayStation.
Yeah, mine is a Burnout Revenge gamer picture.
Sweet.
It's just like some fire thing. I don't know. It just looks neat.
Is there still doing this? And I remember them talking about it like last year. Xbox. It was like you could earn like random rewards with games. It would give your user like some new like avatar items or something. You could earn it. Do they still do that?
Yeah, they
Is
do
still
that.
A thing?
It's like if you're playing a game and you do something, you'll see a blip and you're like, oh, I got an achievement, but it'll say like Avatar Award unlocked, and then you could see like I've done that with like say like Hydro Thunder. My avatar can now have a boat that he plays with. You know, I don't get the avatars really.
Yeah, it seemed like another gimmick to get some more money.
They seem very insignificant to me. I never see mine.
Unless
Unless I'm playing Doritos Crash Course, which is a fun fucking game. It's so fun. But that's the only time I ever really see my avatar. And then they have all these things that I can buy for my avatar. It's like, I never see it.
Yeah. That's like PlayStation Home was cool because Sony didn't ram it down my throat. They're like, hey, it's there if you want to buy shit and play with it. It's cool. If not, well, whatever.
And all the avatar games suck besides the aforementioned Doritos Crash Course. So.
Burger King needs to make some more Xbox 360 games.
I have Sneak King somewhere. I should play Sneak King.
Sneak King was Sneak. Oh, can you not stream?
I can't. I maybe if Stefan has not. He bought the Elgato streaming device and has not streamed with it. So
see if you can borrow it. Maybe
I'm gonna see if I can borrow it.
Yeah. That's crazy. Why would you? That thing's kind of expensive.
It's like $200.
Yeah,
it's a pretty slick device too.
That's an investment.
Yeah, it is, and he hasn't really done anything with it. I'm surprised.
Damn.
But
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't like do it justice or something.
Yeah, because he was doing that and started the Goomba Stomp podcast, and I don't know if he just decided he didn't want to do it anymore, but he's not doing anything with it. So maybe I can borrow it.
Hey, Stefan. Hey,
could I borrow that and stream Sneak King? Sneak King's a fun game. I'm just gonna say it. It's a fun game. It's
the cart one was fun.
Oh, I forget what
it's
called, but it was worth getting that from Burger King. Like, what did they throw
were like
it into?
$3 or something.
They were like $3. Yeah, I bought it for 99 cents.
Nice,
but kind of, if you were to play this game as like a flash game on your browser, you would think it's really fun. So just because that game came to your Xbox, you can't really shit on it because it was like fucking $3. So. It wasn't like a $50, $40, $30 game.
I bought Super Smash Brothers PlayStation yesterday.
Oh, really?
It's fun.
Is it fun? I've seen some gameplay. It looks fun.
The fighting system was a lot more in depth than I thought it would be. Yeah. It's actually like Mortal Kombat in depth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not like Smash Brothers in depth. It's Mortal Kombat in depth.
There's probably some fighting game fans. Mortal Kombat in depth. Yeah. Come on. Man, I want to play Smash Brothers when it comes out. The new one. They haven't really announced much for it, but they just announced that it's going to exist.
Is that the one that's going to be able to cross-play?
I think so, yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
But then that would mean I would have to buy a Wii U.
You could always buy a 3DS. I got a lot of use out of my 3DS.
I would
my DS. 3DS.
I would probably use the 3DS and the Wii U about the same. That's not much at all.
Yeah, I got like the heyday of getting my DS, and then it sits.
I had a DS, and I used it for about a week, and then I never really used it again. I'm just not a big mobile gamer. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my DS down to SGC though to like.
Yeah, that makes sense. I still have I have a Game Boy Color.
Bring that
With I think your Pokemon Blue, unless I give you Pokemon Blue back.
I think Tom still has my red, which is fucked up.
I know where it is if you want your blue back.
Yeah, I'll take my blue back.
The
blue is the important one.
I think I may have given it back to you.
Maybe,
I
don't know. I have my Game Boy. Like,
if it's not in the Game Boy, then I probably gave it back to you.
all right.
If it is in the Game Boy, then I didn't give it back to you.
Nah, that's cool. Whatever.
But yeah,
I know I still have my yellow. Thankfully,
nice.
I love my yellow.
I'll probably try and play like Civ or something on my laptop.
Hey guys, Civ.
I'd have to plug in my fucking cooling mat too. That'd be so. I could probably make it work, but it would be. I'd have to probably be in the back seat, leaning up against the door.
Have the window open as the extra cooling.
Yeah, or wedge it into the window, so you'd be like, "Yeah, this is perfect. It's like eye level."
And then we hit a bump and it goes out the window.
That would be horrible. That's All right, one story down. Injustice has gotten some new DLC. The first character they announced was Lobo. Which, do you know Lobo?
Yeah, I know Lobo.
I don't know him that much either.
That's how I feel about him. Yeah.
But his gameplay looked pretty fucking sweet, honestly.
I saw Catwoman.
Yep, and that's the one.
I'm sorry.
That's no, not Catwoman, not Catwoman. Batgirl.
Yeah, that's what it was. Batgirl.
Batgirl. That's the one I'm getting to. And the thing is, I talked to Stefan about this, and he was saying before the game came out, there was a lot of people on the Injustice forums that were saying there's too many Batman characters. There's Batman, Catwoman, Nightwing, Bane, Joker, Harley Quinn.
All right.
It's already 6. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And people always said, well, there's a story, you know. You got to have some of the characters for the story. But honestly, Catwoman, Nightwing, Bane, not integral to the story. Not at all. Bane and Catwoman, or not Bane. Bane talks once, I think.
Oh, really?
Says something about, like, you will experience pain, Senorita, or something to Wonder Woman. He talks once. Nightwing and Catwoman talk a couple times, but don't really. They have roles that could easily be filled by someone else.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they might just be picking popular characters.
Nightwing.
Nightwing's got kind of a big following.
Nightwing.
The Nightwing DLC for Arkham City.
Nightwing.
Get that face away from me.
Especially Batgirl. And Batgirl could easily be very similar to Batman.
Or Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl. That would suck.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, it's Aquaman's sidekick, Horseshoe.
So that's why when this one was announced, and honestly, I haven't played Injustice much since it came out, but I was just like, ugh. That's what you came with? That's what you got? There
are some DLC characters for PlayStation All-Stars, and I looked at them, I'm like, I'm all right with not having these. I'm okay.
And this article on Screw Attack mentioned a bunch of other, if they want another female character, if that was the point, there's a bunch of other female characters they could pick, and two that jump out at me are Zatanna, which would have been pretty sweet because there's not much magic in.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool.
The other one is Huntress.
Oh yeah, Huntress would be pretty cool.
I
think I'd pick Zatanna over Huntress. Though.
I probably would too, but
cool.
both would be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
and I would definitely pick them over Batgirl.
Batgirl,
easily.
That'd be awesome. She's like,
"Hi, Batgirl."
Oh, Batgirl.
Oh, here's my battery.
Batgirl. The Angry Video Game Nerd game.
I still have yet to see it.
You should see the trailer. Here's a screenshot. That's the AVGN game. Like, it's got the Nintendo Zapper. There's the moon in the background. It looks like not only a fun platformer, but like
it looks pretty nice.
It works in like the AVGN canon and everything like that. It's coming to the Wii U and the 3DS.
Oh my god!
So you will be able to play the Angry Video Game Nerd game on the Wii U and the 3DS.
Is that from their Nintendo deal?
Yep. And it will also, of course, be coming to Steam.
Oh, thank God. Because that's how I'll have to play it.
No word on Xbox 360 or PS3.
Yeah. That's crazy. They have a Nintendo publishing deal.
That seems fitting that Nintendo a Nintendo console is going to have Angry Video Game Nerd's game on it, who
Yeah.
got famous
From
reviewing old Nintendo games. That's awesome. That's like a full circle kind of thing.
Maybe they see potential in Screw Attack then.
And then and then someone will, 20 years from now will sit down and be like, you remember the Wii U? Here's this Angry Video Game Nerd game. Let's give this shitload a fucking try. Wham.
He's like 80 doing his own game. I remember this piece of shit.
All right, Andy, that'll do it for gaming news.
All right.
Let's go on to technology.
Back in my day.
No one cares, old man. It's time for technology news with 3-hit combo.
You know what's really sad is I have not talked to Skylar in so long.
I do feel kind of bad about it.
Yeah.
I figured I should just message him on Facebook.
Yeah.
Skylar, if you're listening, we still love you. We miss you.
Although, did you see that? I guess I did have a quick interaction with him when he said the Xbox hoop de loop. But I haven't actually talked to him.
I feel bad, but I also know that he's kind of busy too.
Yeah, he's pretty busy. Did you see on YouTube on like an episode 2 or 3 episodes ago, he commented and just said first?
No. I miss Skylar.
First. Andy, do you have any plans on going to the Opie Kopi Music Festival in
fuck
South
is that?
Africa?
The Opie Kopi?
Yeah, it's OPPI, Opie Kopi.
Kopi. No, I do not.
Music Festival. It's in South Africa. They're planning on being able, you can download an app,
Right.
and you're out in the crowd, watching some fuck on the stage, and you get on the app, and you're like, I'm thirsty, I want a beer, so you scroll down, pick the beer, and a drone flies it out to you.
Oh my god.
Now, they mentioned in this article, there's some logistical problems about just dropping beer down on a crowd. Even if the drone is just barely hovering above you, like anyone can just reach up and grab that beer,
So, some fuck's gonna try and hack that shit too.
Yeah.
There's always that asshole.
The drone just keeps going to the same place. Someone's sitting around with like 18 beers around him.
Flippy cup.
That seems pretty cool. Finally,
That
a
is-
good use for drones.
If that can get pulled off, that'll be really neat to see.
That would be really neat to see. All right, researchers at the Fraunhofer Research Institution for Modular Solid-State Technologies in Regensburg.
All right.
That's a long name.
Is that a mouthful?
Yes. Just like that. Nathan's hot dog I had that one time at
I love how
Maplewood Lanes.
all of us were just like, fucking eat it.
the one I almost choked on because I was laughing
Because we were all
the
just
entire time.
staring.
Yeah,
just-
if you have friends like Andy, never order a hot dog.
Dude, I'm a fucking adult and I do that. There's times, like, someone said poop at work today. I went, ha! And it actually made me laugh. And I'm like, God damn. I'm
The other
old."
day, someone was saying like a name, and Wang was in the name, and I just said, "You said Wang." but yeah, so I ordered this hot dog, and basically our group of friends, it's Andy. I got the same sense of humor.
Yeah.
I go to eat this hot dog, and everyone leans in.
Just
Hey, how's that hot dog?
even Amy got in on it.
Even Amy got in on it. Did you have a fun time gobbling that hot dog? It's a good hot dog. Nathan's hot dogs are good.
They are very good.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Anyways, back to the original story.
So they have invented at the Fraunhofer Research Institution
Magnetic
for Modular
booze.
Solid. They have invented gloves that change color when they come into contact with toxins in the air.
All right.
So if you're working and some carbon monoxide starts spilling out, your gloves are going to turn blue.
That's kind of cool, actually.
And they can also tailor these to.
Do they have a picture of it?
Yeah, they actually do. See how it's kind of turned blue around the finger right there?
All right, those are pretty nifty.
So, because a lot of poisonous gases are, one, odorless and tasteless and
Yeah.
clear, so you can't see them, smell them, taste them, especially carbon monoxide. But they can also tailor these. You can, I guess they're going to start what it seems like is orders almost, where if you're working in a certain research facility that is specializing in a certain chemical, or a certain chemical is often around that you want to stay away from, they can tailor the substance to any sort of chemical.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be carbon monoxide. It could be sometimes if you're coming into contact with
Matt Rungies.
methane or something like that.
Now they need to make an Iron Man glove. I just put my hand in it and it conforms around me. That'll be cool. That's pretty. That's cool that it does that.
And
I wonder how durable the gloves are, though.
I don't know. They look pretty.
Yeah,
from
look
this,
like,
they look stitched.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a nice glove. And for anyone listening, that's like, you would smell methane because it smells like natural gas. They add that in later.
Yep.
Natural gas is
Enron.
odorless.
Enron was one of those companies that.
Oh yeah,
that
I have
added-
an Enron koozie.
Nice.
It says Enron, think different.
Think bankrupt.
All right, Netflix has come out with some statements. Netflix, Ted Sarandos, the chief
Netflix?
content officer. Did I say Netflix?
No, that's
Oh.
how I say Netflix all the
Okay.
time. Though I'm like Netflix.
Ted Sarandos, the chief content officer, has said that everywhere Netflix goes, like every time someone, a country or a region finally gets Netflix, that piracy drops, which makes
Yeah.
sense. It does. And he says this is because people are mostly honest. He went on to tell Stuff, I guess that's the article.
He just
Stuff.
said some stuff. Not big.
He said, quote, "The best way to combat piracy isn't legislatively or criminally, but by giving good options. One of the side effects of growth of content is an expectation to have access to it. You can't use the internet as a marketing vehicle and then not use it as a delivery vehicle."
That
Makes
makes
a whole
sense.
lot of fucking sense.
Yeah. Hey, Netflix is doing something right.
Exactly.
They were the kings, and they just had to go fuck that up.
They were the kings.
They were the
No
kings.
one could touch them.
Yeah.
And they went with that whole fucking Quickster,
Quickster.
and then
And
they split the
split-
subscriptions. They fucked that
They-
up. Because
they were-
It gave other companies like a foothold.
Yeah,
It helped fucking Blockbuster. Blockbuster
yeah,
should be
it helped.
dead.
Yeah, right.
And-
it brought back, and they were fast about it too.
Yeah. And they were closing and they're still closing
Yeah.
Blockbusters, but they have a streaming. You can get online and order
Yeah.
DVDs and stuff like that. And because of Netflix fucking everything up, that gave them
Not another foothold.
yeah, they gave them an opportunity to survive. Netflix was the king.
they were the.
They're
king.
still the top ones, but there's so many. They got so many competitors. now.
Amazon Prime's a pretty
yeah,
damn good.
and
competitor.
Redbox is going to start, I believe, doing a streaming service.
Yeah.
So
But they had it. They had it. Was that last year? Was that just last year?
I think it might have been.
It was
God, if it was last year, it was like
last September.
if
this
it was
past
if it was
September?
last year, I think it was last spring. I think it might have been like almost a year ago.
All right.
Because I feel like it was kind of a long time ago.
Yeah.
It could have been a year.
On Netflix.
Chinese researchers are creating a potentially deadly strain of avian flu. It's pissing some people off.
If people can't see me, my hands are in the air doing the what
Hands
the
are
fuck.
in the air. A team of Chinese researchers have deliberately created deadly new strains of influenza in a veterinary laboratory.
Why?
And they're now on the receiving end of severe criticism from across the wider scientific community. Now, the controversial research carried out at China's National Avian Influenza Reference Laboratory has mixed H5N1 bird flu virus, which is very lethal but not easily transmitted through humans. They mixed that with a 2009 strain of H1N1. You remember that?
Yeah, that was some evil shit.
Yeah, I caught that one.
Did you?
Yeah, the swine.
Still alive.
Swine flu?
That was H1N1, right?
That was H1N1. I believe that was H1N1.
Did you get the shot?
No.
I got the
It wasn't even that bad, honestly. It was like it. You
It
know
was
how
a
like
mild one?
you know how like a flu lasts a couple weeks.
Yeah.
This condensed it all into like 4 days,
Oh, okay.
and so I didn't think it was that bad. And honestly, that kind of the panic over that was
They-
pretty overblown.
they
because
blew it up.
Basically, I remember them saying they're like, if you're anywhere between the ages of like 8 and 60, and are even relatively healthy, like you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be able to beat it.
It was like the really young kids and the really elderly that
Yeah.
they had to worry about.
And like it says right here, it was easy to catch.
yes.
It was easy to catch it, so that's what made people freak out.
But
about
why are they fucking with this?
it. They combined these two, so not only is it lethal, but it's easy to catch. Now, the researchers claim they were attempting to emulate what happens in nature when two strains come together and form hybrids with shared genetic material. They claim they're using it to create a vaccine for it.
God help them if that ever got out. God help them.
Well, researchers are receiving their fair share of criticism. For instance, Robert May, the former chief scientific advisor to the UK government, told The Independent, Quote, they claim they are doing this to help develop vaccines and such like. In fact, the real reason is that they are driven by blind ambition with no common sense whatsoever. The record of containment in labs like this is not reassuring. They are taking it upon themselves to create human-to-human transmissions of very dangerous viruses, and it's appallingly irresponsible.
And it's also China, too. You can't really, like... You can be like, hey, don't do that, and China be like, what? Do what?
China's like that one friend that you hang around with, but you know they're kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah, and then they kind of do... They really do whatever they want.
Or they're not necessarily like your friend, kind of, but they're like friends of other friends.
Yeah, but you see them a lot.
They're Jeff Poe.
Nope. Containing the anger on Jeff Poe.
I always thought Jeff Poe was all right.
He rubbed me wrong, man.
He rubbed you wrong. I thought he was okay, but that's kind of the point I'm making is like I see Tom a lot, or I used to see Tom a lot, and occasionally here would be Jeff Poe, and at first it took me a while to warm up to him. He was kind of annoying, but I'd be like, all right, I guess we're hanging out with Jeff, but I like Jeff Poe, but
I like Nick Poe.
I don't.
His brother.
Yeah, I know. I don't really.
Have you ever met him?
Nick Poe, yeah.
Okay.
I worked with Nick Poe for I worked with him a long time. Oh yeah, I worked a lot with
Dude,
Nick Poe.
my level of like when people were working and when this all happened is gone. It's gone. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I worked a lot with Nick
Oh, okay,
Poe.
my bad.
But I haven't met him since he was like
Dude,
a
he's lost
kid.
so much weight.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So I don't know if he's still. I know him as this annoying kid.
Gotcha.
So I would. Do you remember when I would used to? When he was doing dishes, he would leave to go get dishes, and I would find the worst songs on his iPod.
Oh yeah, was that the time that it was like George, you and I, we played the porn on the iPod? The porn he had on his iPod.
I don't think I was there for
It
that
might have
one.
been Tom, George, and I then
Yeah,
because
I don't think I was there.
Nick Poe came back and the speakers kicked in and it was just like, and Nick's like, "What are you doing?" No. I think that's the hardest I've ever seen George laugh too in my life. George lost his shit. It was good.
That's so funny. Yeah, I would play like the worst songs on his iPod and be like, "Dude, this song's gay. Turn it off." And then Josh was like, "Well, why is it on your iPod? You don't like it." And I was like, "Just say you like it, Poe. It's not that bad." Oh, Nick Poe. West Side. Motherfucker. All right, Andy, that will do it for technology news.
All right.
Let's go into news.
Are the newspaper and the internet letting you down?
Oh, they have the internet on computers now.
We're here to give you the best of the best. This is news. I had a quick thought. Have you ever heard Florida referred to as America's dong?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I didn't know if I had like imagined it in my head, and I'm like, it was a great idea. Anyways.
No, yeah, I've heard that a few times.
All right.
We're going to start in California,
Ooh,
Santa
I like
Rosa, California, specifically.
All right.
Authorities say that the sun refracted off a dog's shiny water bowl and ignited a fire at Terry and Shay Westbirch Santa Rosa home.
I have actually heard multiple stories of things like this. I've
yeah?
heard of one where the sun reflected through like a bottle of water sitting on the ground and pinpointed it and started a fire on the carpet.
Wow. The fire was quickly put out, but it left a hole in the siding. Now, they say that, a fire department engineer discovered the dog's bowl was the thing that caused the fire. Said Rene Torres returned the bowl to its original position during the investigation of the fire's cause. He found that it concentrated light right on the area of the home that was charred.
He's smart.
Yeah, I thought about doing fire investigation. Maybe we should do that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, let me move this bowl. Oh,
Mother of God.
that was it.
You'd be like the Sherlock Holmes of fires.
And then I would create a bowl the size of like a fucking plane, and I would enslave a city. Oh yeah, you get a little uppity over there.
That's Brian, stop it. Oh, I'm getting kind of hot now.
Now the Press Democrat says the couple's dog Toby had a replacement bowl by the evening.
That's a dumb way.
Probably one that's not as shiny.
Probably. I saw the whitest person headline in the world in the Omaha World Herald the other day. It was the headline. It was the front page on the sports section, and it said "Viva Zapatos, Wildcats."
Viva Zapatos Wildcats.
Yeah, which isn't Zapato shoes.
Yeah.
So like celebrate shoes or Viva shoes.
Yeah,
Wildcats.
Viva, yay.
But it was about soccer, and I'm like, this is the whitest fucking headline I've ever seen.
Speaking of celebrations that don't make any sense,
Cinco de Mayo.
today's Cinco de Mayo.
All my employees were like, "Oh my god, we're having a bread bash on Cinco de Mayo," and I'm like, "Grow the fuck up!"
Yeah.
Like, Cinco de Mayo is another one of those holidays where it is an excuse to drink, and it's a dumb excuse to drink.
It is a dumb excuse.
New Year's Eve, that has a tradition of mixing New Year's Eve and alcohol together.
Yeah, New Year's Eve has always been that.
Like
thing.
champagne, New Year's Eve. All right.
Even St. Patrick's Day I find stupid. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna drink on the weekend, I'll just go out and have a party. Like, I'm not gonna.
I think St. Patrick's Day has been around a lot longer.
It has
than
been
Cinco de
around.
Mayo.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm part Irish too, and everyone goes out there like, "Yeah, I'm so Irish today." It's like, I may technically be part Irish, but I'm like 0% Irish when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't have anything to celebrate, to be honest.
But
so.
see, isn't St. Patrick's Day considered, or it's under the national, like not national holidays, but like the U.S. recognizes St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, I don't know.
Cinco de Mayo is just another fucking day.
I know they're both on our calendars.
Yeah.
You could pick them out, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I agree with you on that. I think
yeah,
Cinco de Mayo is a
it's
dumb
like,
holiday.
Why the fuck are we celebrating Cinco de Mayo? You're not even celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You're
Yeah,
just going out and getting smashed.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and get smashed, that's fine. Just say you're going out and getting
Yeah.
smashed. Don't be like, oh, Cinco de Mayo, someone give me a sombrero.
Excuses.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do the reverse tequila shot.
What's that?
Oh, my God.
What's
It
that?
is you snort salt, squirt a lime into your eye, and then drink tequila.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Nope.
dumbest thing ever.
The first time I took a tequila shot, though, I did lime shot salt. I didn't know how to do it.
It's
Salt lime. Or salt tequila lime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, tequila.
I don't even mess with that shit.
Dude, tequila's evil, man.
I don't even play around with those, like, the fun shots. Like, oh, this one's on fire, and this one you gotta fucking stand on your head and take it.
Have you ever had a Irish car bomb?
No.
Those are good. And what about a sake bomb? Like a legitimate sake bomb. The ones
No, I've
where
never
they
had
have
a
a
sake
shot
bomb.
sitting on the chopsticks, and then you do some little chant, and then you hit the table, and the chopsticks move, and the shot falls in the beer.
Wow.
Those are pretty good, actually.
Bet you $1,000 my sister's home.
Probably.
Because my dogs are fucking barking like crazy. Oh, she's home.
This
Oh.
is the podcast of other noises.
Yeah, let's let everyone fucking know. Because I can't have 1 fucking hour to myself down here.
Your dad really derailed me. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. Like, I'm used to your dad being really quiet, and then he was on the phone. I'm like,
Yeah?
Oh,
What's up? You gonna... Okay.
okay, we're doing this? All right.
Ah, Christ.
Back on track.
I need my
Let's do it,
own-
Rungy.
I need my own fucking place.
If you could be a car salesman, make some money, get your own place.
The next 5 stories, we are headed to Florida.
Woo!
All right, Don Kastner. He's a Florida man, of course, who was caught with food stamp fraud. Basically, he was trying to use food stamps to buy drugs and alcohol. So he was promptly arrested. Because you can't do that.
Are food stamps actual stamps, or is it just a term for them now?
I have no idea.
Because how can you buy drugs and alcohol?
I think he's like
With-
trying to
Like-
the drugs part. He might be because
Like-
I mean you could use food stamps. They're not currency, but I mean you could use them to buy
Yeah.
food. So you could
I guess
you could probably technically give some a drug dealer, hey, I don't have money, but here's a bunch of food stamps,
yeah.
and then he could go out and get fucking shit for sandwiches or something like
All
that.
right.
And then at the same time, you can't. There's certain things you can't buy with food
Yeah.
stamps. Alcohol being one of them.
Yeah.
You can't go to a store and get some alcohol and be like, here's some food stamps. But he was trying to do this, so he got arrested. But what was funny about him getting arrested was the shirt he was wearing.
Do they have a picture of it?
Yep, it says "Jail sucks." and shows a cartoon character behind bars.
That is poetic justice.
It's hilarious. He was given a smock to wear after he was booked because they didn't want him wearing that around. All right, a Pennsylvania mom thought dead, found living homeless in the Florida Keys for a decade.
What?
Her name is Brenda Heist. The last time her children saw her, she dropped them off at school. They returned home to find dinner defrosting, laundry half done, and mom missing. Despite an extensive search, Heist was never found. 3 years ago, Heist's ex-husband even petitioned to have her legally declared dead.
Holy shit.
Well, she turned up this week after turning herself into police in the Florida Keys. She had been living there as a homeless woman for the past decade. At the time of her 2002 disappearance, Heist and her husband were going through an amicable divorce. One day she just took off, her car was found abandoned a few days later, and there was no trace of her.
Holy crap.
Turns out Heist had joined a group of homeless people hitchhiking to the Keys and never looked back.
Holy crap.
At some point, she slept under bridges and in tents and ate food discarded from fast food restaurants. However, about 7 years, she lived with a man in a camper and picked up some work.
Holy crap, dude. She had a midlife crisis like no other.
Yeah, she just like, oh, I'm out of here.
Oh my god. Those poor kids.
The family finally got the news she was alive after Heist turned herself into police after she feared she was wanted in Pinella County. Or Pinella County? It's double L, but I don't know if it's Spanish or not. A police check revealed that she'd been reported missing and feared dead. Detective John Schofield told NBC Miami she had a birth certificate and a death certificate, so she's got a long way to make this right again.
Holy shit. If I were her kids, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I would be too.
Like, really,
She's
Mom?
left
You
like
just
that?
left? You just...
Well, there's no reason for me to accept you back in my life. I've lived 10 years without you.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, dude. As far as you're concerned, you're dead to me.
You are actually
I mean,
dead.
legally, yes,
You're
you
dead.
are. You are dead to me.
Here, I have... Right
Yeah,
here.
I got the paper. I could show you.
I am holding it.
In fact, I could probably shoot you right now. And
It would be all right.
yeah, because you are already dead. Technically, you are a zombie.
Oh my god! That's crazy.
That's weird.
10 years.
He's like, oh, I'm out.
10 years. Ah.
Slow service at a Florida Wendy's foiled an attempted robbery.
Awesome.
An attempted robbery in Wendy's at Longwood, Florida, was Longwood
We're adults.
was foiled after the workers took too long to comply with the would-be robber's request. Like so many people, Crook thought he can get in and out of the burger joint in less than 5 minutes, but he wasn't looking for a Baconator. He wanted cash.
Oh my god.
According to Click Orlando, the unidentified suspect walked into the restaurant Sunday around 11:30 p.m. After a stop in the bathroom, he emerged wearing a blue bandana and approached the counter, where he told the workers, "Give me everything you got." The employees complied with the request, but the speed they were putting into it was not to his liking. So instead, he turned to a customer and demanded the man's wallet. The customer said no.
That's awesome.
So the impatient thief ran out of the store and into a waiting car and took off.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Just let me just pop the straw out.
And here's 120. I'm counting it out so we know later how much the safe is going to be off. Okay?
Here's your rolling nickels.
Yeah.
Alright, have a good day.
Hold on, I didn't
sir.
count the pennies. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Oh, I forgot. 1.
Oh shit, I found a dime in the pennies. Gotta recount the dimes.
That would be my associates. So my
Yeah.
associates would do that.
How many dimes did you have? $1.50? You found an extra one? Yeah? So what'd you do? We took the dimes out and recounted them. let's just add that dime. How short were you? 10 cents? The whole waiting car thing reminds me of the story when I was like 16. I can guarantee I was 16 because this was like when I very first got my car. I was driving around with it.
Your old red one?
Yeah,
That was
the red Taurus.
That was a good car. Except for that squeak.
Oh my god, that fucking squeak in the back of that Taurus was terrible.
You sat back there next to it? Oh, you were deaf.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to your story.
I tried fixing it and I never fixed it. I added new struts. We thought it was the struts, and like my car afterwards, because the struts in the front were old and the
Yeah.
ones in the back were new. Dude, that thing sat at like a 25-degree angle to the
It looked like a
ground.
drag racer.
Yeah, it was just like a big angle. Like the back was way higher than the front.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was me. I'm trying to remember. It was me, my friend Tyler, and his 2 cousins. and we were driving around, and we were driving by a Subway, and we see this kid, Joe Hall. This kid is a really goofy kid. I don't know what his deal is, but he's just a weird guy. Like, he would just say weird things to you. And we knew him through middle school, high school, and he was just like annoying. Like, he'd be the guy that you're all sitting around talking about something at lunch, and he would sit down and just instantly start talking about other shit.
Oh, everybody's got that kid. I know.
Yeah,
I got.
But like, he wasn't even like one of our friends. It wasn't even like part of the group. But he would like come in and he'd like sit down, and everyone's like, "Hi, Joe," and he would like start talking about other stuff. Right. It was weird, and I saw him recently too. He had a weird face. Anyway, so, fucking, we're driving, and we see Joe Hall walk into the Subway, and we're like, well, there's Joe Hall.
Did Joe Hall have really long hair?
No.
Or was it just like unkempt hair?
Yeah.
Okay, because our weird kid like that was just unkempt.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was dark black hair, and it was kind of long, and yeah, it was unkempt.
Yeah.
And so we see him walk into the Subway, and we kind of drive by it one time, and we're like, should we do something? Should we say something to him? Like, should we mess with him? And we drive by once, and then we go park, and we talk this over, and then I'm like, Tyler, why don't you just run in there and yell something to him in the Subway or something like that? Just yell something really loud, and then hop back in the car, and I'll drive away.
Is this the Tyler we played Civ with, or Twos?
Civ.
Okay.
So we then decide that we're going to drive by, and Tyler's just going to yell something to Joe, embarrass him, and then jump back in the car. So we drive by Subway, and Tyler gets out of the car, runs into the Subway, and he didn't think of what he was going to say. He runs to the Subway and goes, "Fuck you, Joe!" And he hops back in my car, and we leave.
Oh, poor Joe. Did you guys talk to him after that?
Like, a few weeks later, Joe was like, "Tyler, was that you at Subway?"
Oh, poor Joe. He's just getting a sandwich.
He was just getting a sandwich.
Somebody just told him the fuck off.
He just ran in. "Fuck you!" He left.
Oh, my God. I miss high school sometimes. Just the shit I used to do then. Just like, I was going to do a Facebook post about, like, what is something that you did in high school that if you were to do now as an adult would be totally unacceptable? And mine was go to parks late at night.
Yeah, that was one thing I used to do all the time.
Yep.
Near Stefan's house, there was a park like right down the street.
Yeah, we went to it a couple times.
We've been there a lot, so that's one. Another thing is like the things we would do. There are certain things we would do that when we were in high school or we were kids, like we'd get slapped on the wrist or yelled at or stern talking to, but now we'd get arrested.
Yeah.
It was things like sometimes when we were like 16, 17, we would try and get kicked out of Walmart. We like split up into groups.
Yeah, you get arrested now as an adult.
Yeah, and we do things like play baseball in the aisles and stuff like that.
Yep, you get arrested.
Back then, an employee would just come and be like, "What the fuck you kids doing? Get the fuck out!" But now they just say nothing, call the cops. The cops will walk in and be like, "I'm arresting you for disorderly conduct."
And then like there's new houses being built by me, and I'm like, "Oh man, I just want to go play in the new houses." And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm an adult. I have to remember this.
Yeah. Yeah,
all right.
You used to do that here too.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, just fucking enter a new house. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other shit that we did. One time we tried to shovel a bunch of wood chips out of a park. For some reason, we thought it would be funny if they came to school the next morning and all the wood chips were around the park. But those wood chips are like a few feet deep.
Yeah, they're deep as hell.
They're deep as hell. We did not think about this. We got there and we're shoveling. We're shoveling these wood chips. We're getting nowhere. Nowhere. And we were only like 15 minutes in, obviously. And then we heard police sirens.
Oh,
so
jeez.
like, oh, shit. And again, we're like 16, so we're like, our lives are over. There goes our future. Everyone scatter.
I can't. It's more than a handful of times that I've ran from the cops back in high school.
I've ran from the cops probably one. That was probably the one time I ran from the cops, I think.
I
missed an opportunity to run from the cops one time. I didn't go to the certain thing that they were. Actually, I'll tell you about it. Go ahead and tell your story.
Okay. There was one time, it was like not my group of friends, but it was like George and I and then a couple people he knew and their friends. And they one time lit the track at Anderson on fire.
Holy shit.
And like sirens and fire, like sirens and cops. And I'm just like, George, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
It was scary.
Yeah, we never did anything like that. We shoveled the wood chips out of the park, and we heard the sirens. And then me, Leaper, and Stefan run into the creek. And Austin was not here for this. He keeps saying he was here. I swear to God, I remember distinctly because we had a group. There was a group of 6 of us: 2 Tylers, 2 Matt, Stefan, Austin. That was like our group. And occasionally, Ben would join us for some escapades. But that was like our group. And I remember distinctly 5 of us being there because I was thinking this would be so cool if Austin was here. So I remember there being 5 of us, and it was me, Leaper, Stefan, and both the Tylers. And so me, Leaper, and Stefan run into the creek, and then we come back out and run back into his house, and we were like the first ones back. And then Tyler Swanson shows up a little bit later. Tyler 2 shows up like a half hour later. And he had this story about how there were cops everywhere searching around. He was like hiding behind a bush. I don't know if this is true or not. But he showed up like a good half hour later.
That's crazy.
And then there was another time that I missed, but that same school, we had done this before, but we found a way to climb up on the roof.
Oh, that's always fun to do. Anderson, we could do that.
Yeah, we did that at Kiewit too. And you could.
Kiewit was the same design as Anderson.
Yeah, we did it at Kiewit. How'd you do it at Anderson?
It was like there was a really high hill.
Oh,
and
really?
then we were in the hill was maybe like a 3 foot like from the top of the hill to the top of the roof was like 3 feet. So if you had somebody to like boost you or you like ran at the wall and kind of jumped on it, you could get up easily.
Yeah, at this certain school, and I forget the name of the school. It's in Stefan's neighborhood, but there was like these holes in this brick wall. It was like some design. And basically, you could climb it, and then when you got kind of close, you could, if someone could get up there, you could boost someone, something like that. You could theoretically get pulled up or something like that. There was also a light you could run at.
Oh.
And if you grabbed onto the light, you could try and pull yourself onto the roof.
Oh.
And then there was also a wall that you could run at, and if you could get enough footing, you could get up there. But I missed this particular one, but they were up there on the roof, and the cops didn't turn on their sirens. They just pulled up.
Ooh, that's so scary.
And they caught everyone but Tyler 2's. He said he hid behind like an air conditioning unit for an hour.
I've only ever been busted by the cops once, and it was because of the really early iteration of camera phones.
Oh yeah.
Like all right, so there was 4 of us, and one kid went on like they were these 2 kids they got in trouble all the fucking time. Me and my buddy shouldn't have hung out with them, but they were skating on this dude's deck, and they were fucking this deck up pretty bad with their skateboards. And this lady came out, and me and him had stayed on the sidewalk. I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere near that. That's bad news. And so me and him were just on the sidewalk with our skateboards. Well, this lady came out and was like, "Hey, get off there!" And they cussed her out. And then she was just standing there with her phone. And this, I never really thought about camera phones. And she's just saying, I'm like, what the fuck? It's taking her that long to call 911?
Yeah.
Well, she was taking pictures with her camera phone. And we got busted.
Wow.
Thankfully, me and him got off scot-free. We were fine.
I had another one in my head. There was that. There was one time where the cops showed up at Stefan's house and basically just told us to be quiet.
Oh.
We were wrestling on the trampoline or something. I hate that, by the way. If someone's being loud, just ask them to be quiet.
Yeah, and if you do it actually pretty politely, too.
Yeah. And if they don't be quiet, then fine, call the cops. Yeah. But at least try with the be quiet, because, like, he had some older neighbors. I think they were older, if I remember right. We're on the trampoline. We're yelling. We're being loud. If they seriously would have just looked over the fence and was like, hey, you guys are being really loud. Could you be a little quiet? We probably would have said yes. Same with my fucking neighbor down the street right there.
I remember.
That fucking lady.
Yeah.
Hate her. There's been, like, 3 occasions where she will call the cops on us, and I can't remember an occasion where we've actually been loud enough for the cops to be called. But I remember it was like my 17th birthday. She called, and the police were like, yeah, someone was calling saying a bunch of underage kids were drinking beer. Not a single fucking drop of alcohol was here. We were just all swimming.
Dude.
So we're just like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
People are just crazy. We are totally off topic.
Yeah, we are way off topic. No, we're not that long on the
No,
podcast, though, so that's good. All
Back
right.
on topic.
Jarvis Sutton calls 911 80 times.
That is a sweet name, by the way, Jarvis.
Guess what he was asking for when he called 911 80 times?
Was it he needed something done, or was he like calling 911 to complain about
He
something?
needed 3 things delivered to him.
Oh my god! All right, go on. I can't guess. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous.
He was asking them for burgers, Kool-Aid, and pot.
And he called the cops.
He called 911.
What? This dude's stupid.
He was arrested last Sunday for allegedly calling 911 operators in St. Petersburg, Florida, 80 times, wanting Kool-Aid, burgers, and weed to be delivered to him.
80 times. That's a significant number.
Once you've called, I would think once you've called 911 like 5 or 6 times,
Yeah.
at least, or I guess at most, that would be the threshold where, like, can someone go arrest
Like,
this guy? Yeah.
If he did it in one night, it would had to be back to back to back.
It had to be back to back. Especially if my theory holds up, and after like a couple of them, they're like, "Fucking someone go arrest him and tell him to stop calling 911." So not only that, but he had to do that in the time it took from the cops to get there to his house.
Dude.
But apparently, he must have had the munchies really bad. After arresting him, he was chewing on the foam attached to the metal caging in the back of the police cruiser.
Oh my god. Bath salts.
And this is the 7th time this year he's been arrested.
Oh my god.
Oh, 7th time in the last 2 years.
That's still a lot
That's a
in
lot.
2 years.
That's a lot especially when you consider that never been arrested.
Yeah. Dude, I fear jail. I'm too pretty.
I'm too pretty for jail. All right, and our final story in news and for Florida. 3 Florida rednecks, that's what they call themselves, catch a 277-pound bull shark with their bare hands.
Rednecks, yes. Balls, many.
Many. Not
Many.
big balls, but they have more of them.
Many balls.
In an event that's described only as one of the most Florida things to ever happen. I love how they put that.
Do they have a picture?
Yeah, they have a picture of the bull shark.
Oh, damn, it's a pretty big shark.
Yeah. 3 self-proclaimed rednecks attempted to catch a 277-pound bull shark with their bare hands. Of course, they thought the shark was dead at first, an assumption they didn't realize was wrong until they began dragging it by its tail. Cody Harlan, Jonathan Cook, and Robert Trutt went out to Okaloosa Island near Fort Walton Beach this past Saturday morning to do some pompano fishing. But before they cast their lines, they noticed something floating in the water. At first, the trio thought it might be driftwood or a dead dolphin. After realizing it was a shark, they decided to get it to take some bait so they could reel it in. But the shark didn't respond, so Harlan decided to jump in the water and grab the shark by the tail.
Oh, my God.
However, once the shark was on land, it began thrashing. Turns out the creature wasn't dead, but was choking on some fish it tried to swallow. A few strikes with a baseball bat put an end to the shark's suffering. They murdered this fucking shark.
Oh my god, they went Office Space on that shark. Oh my god. They fucking killed it with a baseball bat.
Now, as crazy as the story is, what really makes it is the tale, the quotes of the tale that they gave to the paper. Now, this article gives us 6, so I'm going to read off the 6 best quotes from these 3 rednecks. First, it was stupid but a good memory. Leave it to 3 rednecks. Next one was, I wanted it for its teeth. Third quote, I got my Nike bat out of the truck and knocked her out. Question was, what will they do with the shark now? They said, cut the head off, stake it up, soak it in buttermilk, throw it on the grill. Another one said, I feel like an idiot now. He wasn't dead. And we could have been its dinner.
He jumped in the fucking water.
He jumped in the water. And
I would have just
dragging the shark
taken
away.
my boat, you know?
Yeah, I would have been like, oh, it's a dead shark. Later.
Yeah. Holy shit. Florida. Oh my god.
All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/3ACombo Podcast, twitter.com/3ACombo PC. That is the number 3. PC stands for podcast. Find us at 3ACombo Podcast.blogspot.com and 76streetnetwork.com.
Yeah.
So for Andy, this is Matt, signing out.